This is Pacers Recap Live.
Sad edition.
It is. It's a rough start to the season. The Pacers are 0-4 for the first time in my lifetime, I believe, since the year before I was born. It's a rough one out there. I'm Derek Kramer, your host, my co-host, Kyle Taylor. How are you, sir?
Sad.
Sad. Do we need to make you very sad right now? Is that what you're looking for to do? Not right now.
Oh, Aaron Nesmith makes me sad. I thought right there was the chance to redeem himself. I honestly, we're like the camera angle from where we've got it is right online. It's right online. Ugh, man. Instead, he puts up one of the worst shooting performances I've ever seen in my life.
Ooh, the whole team for a while there. But yes, just real struggle for Aaron Nesmith. At one point early in the first half, I noted that like before this game, he was shooting 21% from two. That went down today because he went 1 for 9 from 2-point range. The problem also is that he also went, I think, about the same 1 for 8, 1 for 9 from 3. It's just real rough out there for Aaron. I will say, to just not make it all terrible, he had been shooting 47% from 3-point range until today. Just real rough. You really feel for him. Just he's going his hardest out there, like everybody on the team, and just things just aren't going their way right now.
They're not. I'm going to dwell on the sad, okay? We have, the first half looked decent. I'm not ready to feel decent. So here's Aaron Nesmith driving.
39% shooting for Indiana when Rudy's been on the floor. 64%, Michael, for Indiana when he's been off.
Nesmith couldn't get it to go.
And unfortunately, Aaron Nesmith in the Minnesota game first drove into Jaden McDaniels, blocked. Then drove into Rudy Gobert, blocked. He tried a third time to drive to the rim, this time against Jaden McDaniels and Rudy Gobert. No, that one didn't work either. Today, there was more of the same. The clips aren't live, or I would share them from today's game. I didn't look at all the stats. Aaron put up what I have to assume is his worst shooting performance of his career. The team put up their worst shooting performance since a game in April 2021 when Jakar Sampson played 15 minutes. Cassius Stanley took the floor, and Malcolm Brogdon went 5 for 20 in a garbage time loss against the San Antonio Spurs. Ben Shepherd still can't make shots. Pascal Siakam is getting double teamed, and the rest of the team can't help him out. Jarris Walker going consecutive possession after possession after possession, spin, fade, fall down, blocked in the second quarter. The Indiana Pacers are sad, Derek. The Indiana Pacers are sad.
It's very sad out there right now. I don't. It's hard. It's insane that this team, who was shooting like 33% through like up until 4 minutes left, and that they still almost came back and won this game. Like that. That is insane. Like, I don't care. Like, yes, Anthony Davis didn't play basically this entire game, the second straight game. The best player for the other team has been out because of an injury after starting to play the game. But just with all the injuries that they have, they can't make any kind of shot. Most of the time, the offense is just struggling to have any kind of flow. You'll see it in sporadic bursts. Shout out Ray J. Dennis, who the offense does seem to run better when they have a point guard. Isn't that interesting? It's just hard. It's hard. Everything they do, it just seems like it's much harder than it normally is. and it makes sense with the guys that they're missing.
The Mavs are really bad, though. That is not a good Mavs team.
That's the
Cooper
thing, yeah.
Flagg. I mean, listen, I don't walk away from that game feeling like, oh man, they got the rookie of the year over there and he just beat us. Right? If that had been the result, that's one way to look at things, and you say, okay. The last line in my notes from this game reads, "They have quit playing transition defense." That is where we got to. Just throwing. I mean, the Mavs are just football pass, and it's like football pass touchdown. I honestly shout out Ray J. Dennis. I don't know if he was the bright spot either, but I don't think his defense was a bright spot. But I have once again feel like he at least came out there and made things move in a positive direction. He hits a 3 down the stretch, right? He's doing what he can do.
I mean, I think by the end of the game, he was like plus 13. Like, I know single game plus minus isn't end all be all, but I think that says a lot tonight. I also wasn't like super impressed with Cooper Flagg. Like, obviously it's only like I don't know how many games the Mavs have played this year, but it's early on in his rookie season. Impressive veteran moves already from Flagg to, like, he's got a guy, Mac McClung, who's 9 inches shorter than him, and his instinct is, I'm going to lean into him and draw a foul. So he's already a very NBA veteran level player.
But it has to be said, Mac McClung is one-on-one with Cooper Flagg. We can all see it. Quinn is calling it on the broadcast, and no one goes to help. No one goes to help.
Well, you see what the Mavs are doing to Pascal, although maybe they aren't, since they aren't moving and helping him find an opening to make a pass. But you see what they're doing to Pascal. Maybe do that when you have a guy that's 9 inches shorter than someone. I did enjoy Mac McClung, the experience, more than I thought I would.
You know what? It's time for the hoodie to come off, because Mac McClung was a bright spot. The guy came out there like deflection 3. Mm-hmm. That was sick.
The lob deflection was awesome. I thought just his aggressiveness to be willing to go at Cooper Flagg, which probably led to some of the Flags like, okay, I'll go after you and I'll give you a too small, which, yeah, duh. Mac McClung is too small to guard you. We all know this. But yeah, I like Mac McClung today. The deflection on the lob was great. The 3-pointer that was the and one play was great. Just, yeah, to come into this team with just one day of practice and play pretty well, play solid. I think that was all you could ask for from him this first one.
Yeah. Let's talk about Jarris.
Okay, let's talk about Jarris. So I thought Jarris was great, incredible even in the first quarter. If you ignore everything other than his 2-point field goals in the stat sheet, great, amazing game. Amazing.
Hard to ignore him.
It is hard to ignore them because
I kept track. By the way, before we say any bad things about Jarris Walker, in this game, I decided to keep track of, limited playmaking Pacers. I decided to keep track of every time a player made a pass, either from, they could be on the move or on the perimeter in transition, on a drive. They made a pass that created an advantage for someone else and scrambled the defense around. And I have Jarris Walker leading the team, Kyle's proprietary stat sheet, leading the team with 7 advantage-creating passes, defense scrambling passes, well ahead of Pascal Siakam, 4, Q and Ray J, 3 and 3, Mac McClung 1. But there's like very limited playmaking out there. That's 18 times in 48 minutes that I felt like I saw a defense-bending pass.
He was running the offense, I thought, in the first quarter, and it was working to the credit of Jarris and his passing. Like, his first 3 assists in the game were all incredible passes, like passes that we haven't really been seeing from anybody on the team this season. Like, there's 2 passes that were against fronting defenders. One was from beyond half court to set up Huff. He had the 1 assist that was behind the back to Tony Bradley, like getting these centers some of the easy shots that they haven't been getting all year. Jarris's turnaround jumper did not work tonight. He did have a couple good ones in previous games this week, but yeah, the 2-pointers, I think he went 1 for 9 feel like I'm saying 1 for 9 a lot today. 4 for 10 from deep. Overall, like still a good game from Jarris, but yeah, the finishing inside where
he had 2 drives, I think 2 drives where he tries to get all the way to the basket, and I think he drew a foul on both of them, if I'm remembering correctly. The free throws were a bright spot for him.
he got 6 for 7. Then he got to the rim multiple other times, and it did not. If he didn't get the whistle, it was just not going his way. I did like that he tried to go for the dunk at one point because we don't see that enough from Jarris using that big body, but he got blocked, maybe got fouled, but didn't get the whistle there.
Pretty emphatically. I mean, he didn't come close. It was hard for me to tell if it was a foul or not, actually. I had a hard time figuring that one out, but I think I just really agree about the turnaround jumper he doesn't have yet. It's a balancing act here because on the one hand, you kind of have to practice taking that shot to get good at that shot. On the other hand, he like really doesn't have it. And I don't think that a guy like of his position playing the way he plays with his size, like, do you need a turnaround, spin, fade away? I don't really think so.
He had some good ones.
You need it as you need to be able to have counters. Like there can be the spin fadeaway people become afraid of. So then you have the step through. Like Siakam can like kind of fake and then step through, and then you're playing the step through, and he fades and creates space going the other way. It's so like the highs and lows of Jarris's game tonight were pretty extreme. He tried the Cooper Flagg. I mean, it was interesting to me that Shep got the Flagg assignment first, and then we went to Jarris.
That was weird.
Yeah. Eventually we got to Siakam. I mean, the truth was that it was the perimeter defenders who were really letting him down. This is not an Inside the NBA episode, but I did not know who Brandon Williams played for until tonight. And he cooked the Pacers guards, and we got, it was essentially like blow by, and then a possession of zone, because clearly Rick was like, we will not get taken into the paint another time. And they got a turnover out of it. So, props to them. And then we didn't see much zone ever again.
I was a little surprised that we didn't see more, because that first possession that they used it, like Dallas did seem a little befuddled. Like, oh, what do we do? Because they don't really have a lot of guard play right now either. Brandon Williams was fantastic getting to the rim on repeat, really caused a lot of problems. D'Angelo Russell had a couple good plays, but yeah, the zone worked for that one possession. I don't know how often they ran it after that. You want to just go start the TJ awards? Go ahead and get this thing going.
We need some positivity.
All right. So if you missed the first episode, the TJ Awards, as I was doing research for this show, if you don't know, the Pacers employed every TJ in the history of the NBA, including 3 at the same time. TJ McConnell, TJ Leaf, TJ Warren, TJ Ford, way back in the past. Those are all the TJs that have ever been in the NBA. But there are also 3 secret TJs on the roster. We have Tyrese John Halliburton. We have Tony Bradley Jr., and we have Talon Joseph Peter. So in honor of all these TJs, including the secret TJs, allow me to present the TJ Awards.
Some positive vibes music from the TJ.
Yeah,
Awards.
we updated the music a little bit. I got hit with a little copyright thing, so we're trying something, another piece of music, see how it goes. All right, do we want to start with Tyrese John Halliburton Award again today, or do we want to save it for last? What do you think?
Let's start with it.
Okay. All right. I'll let you give the first nominee here.
After watching that display, after watching the display tonight, I'm ready to nominate Tyrese John Halliburton as the player of the game, the player who I wish could play. Because, man, I'm telling you, I was counting all those advantage passing and like advantage play assists. Not all of them, came to a made basket, and I just kept thinking over and over, this hurts to watch because Tyrese would be making all of these plays. I've been prepared and will write, and at some point adamantly defend Tyrese Halliburton being an all-star player this year. I'm prepared to make that case. I think his impact on winning is undeniable, and tonight you see how undeniable it is. Aaron Nesmith needs needs Tyrese on the floor, and boy, All right, a bit of a cop-out answer from me, but I watched that game and you just really feel Pascal gets doubled, the outlet pass goes nowhere. You're running in transition and the advantages don't materialize. And these are all, you're seeing the sort of other side of the coin. You're seeing what you don't have with Tyrese.
I completely agree with what you're saying. I would be lying if I said that Tyrese did not cross my mind for this category tonight.
Cheating. I'm cheating out here. I'm cheating.
Yeah.
I'm giving you Pascal, though. I'm serving him to you on a plate. He's so good. They're double teaming him from the first quarter.
Pascal was so tired. He deserves a nomination. But today, I'm going with Ray J. Dennis.
Okay.
I just think he deserves a lot of love for tonight because of how desperately they need a point guard. And like the offense was at least functioning much better when he was on the floor. Like I said before, like the only guy who's a massive positive in this game, plus 13. He had 17 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 for 7 from deep. He had a couple of those little floaters that he likes to run in the lane that he hit. I was really impressed with Ray J. Dennis tonight. I'm going to nominate Ray J, though I can understand the Tyrese Halliburton argument. I think it just, when we look at all these 2-point field goal percentages, like I think it speaks a lot to like the easy shots that Tyrese can get and create for people. And just like everybody's rhythm just feels a little off. Like everything's a half beat slower than it would be if the Pacers had Tyrese or some other point guards on the floor. But I feel like Ray J deserves a lot of love. I don't feel like he's going to get a lot of opportunities to be nominated for this award. Pascal is going to have a bunch of opportunities. So Ray J is my nomination.
You know what? You've convinced me. You've convinced me. How many times this season were we going to say Ray J. Dennis play Mr. Pacer of the night? I mean, that's the fact that he is even. I mean, the truth is Pascal was like the best player out there tonight. But honestly, like if there is a second choice, it really is Ray J. probably. And shout out to him. I mean, that's like imagine him like a week ago. Or 2 weeks ago, imagining his role on the team, and he's doing what he can do. All right, you can take it away. What for the next set of all
right? So
awards,
I'm gonna nominate.
Yeah, we get to pick the award. What do you want to pick?
All right, I am going to nominate someone for the Tony Bradley Jr. Award.
No, not the Tony Bradley Award. No. You took it from me. No.
Well, maybe you're giving it to somebody else, but I'm giving it to the man it's named after, Tony Bradley Jr. I'm thinking of this award as a guy who you just come in with no expectations for, but that he performs. He just
played the game, man.
He played the game. Like Wiseman's no longer on the team partially because he's rarely where he needs to be. Tony Bradley is always where he's supposed to be. You can at least count on him for that. He's going to get those easy tip ins. He's going to be in the right spot. He's going to try to play defense. It always seems like he's in the right place. In multiple games this year, he's felt like he's the Pacers' best center. I'm nominating Tony Bradley for the Tony Bradley Award.
It's not quite the participation award, but I will pick the other center who made some highlight blocks. Double stuff, Jay Huff. Those were some sweet plays. I don't know anything else he did on the floor, and that's the spirit of the award. I can't even fully recall every single thing that Jay Huff did that was a positive, but 2 blocks, he was there. He played in the game. I saw close-ups of his hairline. It looks like it needs some help. And that's what I've got to say about Jay Huff tonight.
I tried to set you up with, I'm thinking of it as a, low expectations, performing above. I thought maybe you'd go with Mac McClung here.
Well, the good news is that we can do the Hype Train Award.
Okay. Is that where you're going next?
And we'll go there next. The Talon Joseph Peter Hype Train Award. You've already talked about Ray J, so I'll talk about Ray J here, and I think we might get a shout out for our other G League star. I'm just here to give Ray J Dennis his second award of the night, a 2-award night for Ray J Dennis, Mr. Pacer, the Talon Joseph Peter Hype Train Award in honor of Edmund Sumner. Ray J Dennis, I did not think I would be saying your name this much this early in the season, but here we are. And you know what? Just result aside, he is throwing. He had a really nice pass in transition, like bounce pass. I think to it was either Aaron or Jarris on a shot that was missed. Maybe it was Ben Shepherd even. Like driving to the rim, a really nice play. He hit. There's like some real like his floater game, really pretty. I love Ray J Dennis's floater game. It looks really nice. Big props for me on aesthetics. Big aesthetics guy in basketball. Like the accessories, Sweet J's. Love that stuff from Ray J. So shout out Ray J on the hype train and Mr. Pacer. And you can, I assume you're going to go hype train Mac McClung, and we can talk about 3-time dunk champion. The Pacers, 3-time dunk champions are not usually Pacers, which pretty cool.
So I'm between two guys here. So I could go Mac McClung because of things we've talked about already. I think Quentin Jackson at least deserves a mention here. I love Quentin Jackson. Love his aggressiveness. Love that he's just like an agitator and gets in guys' faces and gets on guys' nerves with getting into it a little bit with D'Angelo Russell. But I am going to go Mac McClung. I think he deserves it more. Just a great, maybe not great, might be a little strong, but a good first impression for a guy that's on his first standard NBA contract, one of the biggest opportunities he's had in his NBA career. Been around a lot of different teams, a lot of different G League teams primarily. But like we talked about before, some awesome plays on defense to start. Like his athleticism, while we didn't see any dunks, like it still popped. Like you can you can see the quickness, you can see the quick leaping ability. Like it shows that he has that kind of athleticism. I will agree with that QJ did have some bad fouls tonight. We did kind of skip over Jay Huff, and yeah, he was very solid defensively. I should have discussed him a little more.
So you've already forgotten that he's my Tony Bradley Jr. award winner. So in the background that you've forgotten he was there.
It seems like the chat agrees with you that Jay Huff was the winner of that award. So you didn't even want to nominate him, but he was the winner. Yeah, great first impression for Mac McClung. Yeah, I did not have high expectations for him. I don't know, with his contract being unguaranteed, like this is some like major minutes. Like he has to prove himself every time he's out there. Mm-hmm. So like, and you can see the one thing I didn't love about his game tonight was every time he got called for a whistle, it was like, what? Like he was just shocked that a whistle had been called. And some of them I understand his frustration, but it just kind of gets old when it's every time somebody calls a whistle on you, when you react to that. I don't know what the word I'm thinking of is, but he was very incredulous every time the whistle was blown. But he seems kind of like he's feisty. Like I said before, I love how he goes after Cooper Flagg a couple times. Got blocked once, but in the first half, he drew a foul on him and got to the free throw line to score his first point as a Pacer. Good first impression.
Nice. All right. Let's wrap it up with the spice. I hope there's at least one Dune fan in the chat, right, because Derek has put together something special for our last segment. A beautiful photo of Pascal Siakam.
Enjoy this graphic as we start our new segment here, bringing the spice. All right, Kyle, the spice must flow. The idea of
my best Pascal Siakam.
Oh my gosh. So the idea here is we're going to go back and forth with some hot takes. I am admittedly terrible at giving hot takes, so I suspect mine will not be very spicy. But then we will rate each other's hot takes on a scale of 1 to 5. spicy peppers. And we'll kind of go back and forth. If you have your own hot takes that you want us to rate, you can put them in the chat. We might react to those as well. You want to go first?
I'm going to come out swinging. I'm swinging. And I'm coming
direction.
for a what I think might be a too beloved Pacer icon. An icon I will contend is not an icon. Boomer is a bad mascot. Out and out bad. Not good. Mascots could be a few things. And you know what? Indianapolis has an A+ mascot just a few blocks away. Blue is one of the best mascots in football. Okay, maybe the best mascot in football, actually. Now, what's the difference between them? Blue looks ridiculous. This is a big positive in a mascot. Gritty, the Philly fanatic. They're fat and fluffy. They don't make any sense. They're mythical creatures that aren't actually mythical. You can't quite tell what they are. And they do wild gimmicks. Blue runs around and bops people with the belly. What does Boomer do? What does he do? He comes down from the ceiling? Why is he a cat? What does that have to do with being a Pacer? Boomer's not a good mascot. The choice of mascot doesn't make sense. The design isn't any good. He doesn't have any good gimmicks. Benny the Bull throws popcorn at people. The Sun's gorilla goes through a flaming ring of fire. The coyote down in San Antonio catches live bats with a net. What does Boomer do? Nothing. Nothing. A bad mascot. He needs to change. Shots have been fired at Boomer. We're anti-Boomer on this side of the chat.
I have never heard so much Boomer hate.
Give me all the spice.
Life.
Give me all the spice. Boomer is not good.
This is insane. So I'm surprised you didn't bring up that he's the questionable disappearance of his mascot partner, Bowser.
Oh, I would say, how could I forget? But it's so easy to forget because they're bad mascots.
Okay, so Bowser's bad too, is what you're telling me.
Freddy, Freddy Fever, I don't even know what he's supposed to be. Maybe he's like a disease molecule, with all the things shooting off everywhere. That's kind of interesting. But Freddy, yeah, I'm kind of mid on Freddy. The thing is, I want you to think of Blue and how much you just love that guy. And then I want you to think of Boomer, and it's nothing.
I can't.
This is about my hottest take. I'm coming after it here.
I'm with the chat here that I just can't stand for the Boomer slander.
What does he do? I need one person to say, and Boomer, just a bad name. Also, nothing to do with what are the name of the team. Look, let's zoom out, okay? A good team name should in some way be ferocious and draw upon something in the city. Okay, the Houston Rockets, pretty good name, right? NASA, Houston, the Rockets. It's a good combination.
So what's your mascot? How are you fixing Boomer? Are you demoting Boomer to the Noblesville Boom?
Whoa, what a thought. The Boomers have a mascot, or Boom have a mascot named Boomer. What a fit. It's almost like it would make more sense if he was down there.
But you have to figure out who is replacing him. Yeah.
No, this is very tough because obviously it can't just be a car. That's pretty dumb. Humans dressed in race car suits and running around with the Indy car around their waist. That's pretty dumb. Boomer, the name obviously is an homage to. Yeah, I respect Slick obviously, but why is he a cat? This is another question I have. What is there lore? I don't know.
I don't know the Boomer lore. I don't know.
The Orlando Magic's stuffed the magic dragon hatched out of an egg. Where did Boomer come from? He didn't hatch. I don't know. Where did he come from? Did we find him? Did we rescue him?
I love Boomer. I do not want to demote him to the G League. I think we should probably move on from the mascot talk.
We could have an episode about mascots and I could keep going.
If I had stronger mascot opinions, we could keep this going and start a mascot pod, but I can't do it with you.
I can own the mascot pod, and the last thing I will say is at least the best thing Boomer has going for him is that he is not a human. The Celtics have a man. a man, like a human man.
Yeah, like the Fighting Irish
Like
kind
the
of
Fighting
thing.
Irish. It's embarrassing. If you're a Fighting Irish, I'm not sorry at all to Notre Dame fans if they're listening right now. You can't just have a man as your mascot. We are men. A mascot is an emblem of your team's honor, pride, culture, and like frankly, like it's a bit ridiculous. And you have a man, please.
All right.
All right, bring it. What's your
All right,
take?
we're moving on from mascot corner. My first take is that Rick Carlisle is secretly embracing a tank already.
Wow, in 4 games in.
It's a secret. But
Rick
he's doing it.
himself.
So here's my case.
I'm gonna give
started-
you at least. I'm gonna give you 4 straight away.
So here's just a couple reasoning that I'm saying this. He played Mac McClung in clutch time today over a guy that was working a lot better in Ray J until there were about 2 or 3 minutes left. And then it started to get a lot closer almost immediately. He started James Wiseman in Memphis.
He did do that. That was strange.
It felt like it was like, we know we're probably going to cut you, so sorry, here you get to start, maybe a last chance kind of thing. It felt a little weird. I don't know. It felt like something you do in April when you want to give a guy a chance to start in his hometown, but you know the season's basically over. I'm just saying. He's also played J Huff at the 4 multiple times.
Yeah, that's another good piece of evidence. You know what you haven't said that needs explanation?
Okay, go for it.
The one ear blue stuff. Just in one ear, right? He's got the earplug in one ear, but not both, and it's blue. What's he trying to tune out? You know, has he got it in the ear facing the bench, so he's not listening to the assistant coaches? You've got some material here that I think you're leaving on the table.
There's also some challenges that I'm surprised he hasn't made early in the season. Look, that OKC game had a couple where I was like, you don't want to keep Ben Mathurin in the game?
So I've refused to use the T word in this chat.
I know you said that on Locked On, right?
Yeah, I'm refusing to use the T word. I will entertain the T word maybe in December, but really I'm trying not to use the T word until Christmas. Yeah, Shep was drowning. I felt for Benjamin Shepherd. That was he was feeling it.
And speaking of another guy who just can't put the ball in the hole,
it's tough
right now from deep.
It is tough,
and it's been all season for Shep so far.
Okay, so we've got random double big lineups. Though Minnesota, it can kind of work because like Jaden isn't really a threat so much to shoot, and then you have Julius who's like big but in like the mid range, and then you have Gobert who's like only in the post. It's a bit more understandable there. I think they're not going to
disagree.
They're not going to like space you out with speed in the way that would really make the double big obsolete. And also, who else was he supposed to play? He's done the thing where you play in your hometown before. I'm sticking with 4 peppers. I think this is too spicy. I think he is trying to manage minutes, sort of. But look, I mean, Pascal Siakam played how much tonight? I mean, he played like 37 minutes. That's a lot of minutes if you're secretly doing the thing.
It's a good counterpoint. It's a great counterpoint.
All right. You want to? Are we snaking, or am I taking the next one? I've only got a couple here.
Okay. You take the next one.
Okay, I'm gonna make.
That's why you went so long on the mascots.
Yeah, but I'm gonna make some more people mad. I'm just getting ready. All right, here we go. Okay, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I'm gonna say this. NBA referees, good at their jobs. NBA referees are good, and here's how you know. Anyone who has watched, well, let's forget high school basketball. Okay, set that one aside. If you've watched the WNBA, college men or college women, you should immediately have immense respect for NBA referees, because the pace of play, especially in the NBA compared to all 3 of those other leagues, the pace of play in the NBA is incredible. The fouls and contact are happening, NBA referees, normal sized, maybe 6 feet. Contact is happening like 1 or 2 feet above them. So imagine your eyesight, and everything is happening not just way faster than you can see, but a foot above where you're used to looking. And they get so many calls right that we don't fully appreciate. Obviously, like any person, they make some mistakes. For example, like some more obvious than others. Giannis's 10 seconds at the free throw line feels like you should have a stopwatch. You should know. But block charge calls so hard to get right. I think that they're good at their jobs. I think that they have bad nights. I think some individual referees are much better than others. That I certainly do think. But I think on the whole, NBA referees get a bad rap, and they're good at what they do.
I think some people would go higher here, and I tend to agree with you. The majority of the time, NBA refs are good, especially if you could compare them to any other level.
If anyone
refereeing.
watched the Fever play this year or last year, either year, if you watched any Fever game, you at least have to acknowledge that NBA referees are better than WNBA referees at a bare minimum, and the game is just hard to call. We just got to accept that it's really hard to call.
It is very difficult. I once tried to referee just like a elementary school game when I was in high school, and it was like the worst. I hated every moment of it. I would never want that job. I also think that they do they have bad nights, and I think it's fair to point those out. Overall, yes, they are good at their jobs, but sometimes they do suck.
Yeah, we will not mention the NBA Finals in this part of the conversation.
Yeah, I want to hear you praise Scott Foster while you give this take. The NBA refs are good.
I will only if this team makes if they commit basketball sins or basketball crimes and we need to atone for their sins, I will sacrifice myself and atone for them. What's your next take?
Okay, well, you started spicy, so I'm going to go. I feel like this is pretty mild, but I feel like I need to say it because I keep getting pushback about it online. James Wiseman is a bad NBA player.
It's just mean. This is just mean.
And I don't mean to be mean, but I just, like, 3 teams now have decided that he's not good enough to be on their roster. Just because he averaged double digits in his rookie season with Golden State doesn't mean that he contributed in any meaningful way. If you look at his stats on cleaning the glass and like what his on-off splits, he's in like the first percentile. Like they were like 23 points worse with him on the floor. The Warriors, like he didn't play enough time for the Pacers to really have an opinion about his Pacers tenure in terms of regular season games or whatever. At least not, he's not good.
I'm sad about this. I don't.
It's a 1. It should be a 1. I just need to.
I hurt for him. I think if I want to make a tangential statement here, forget. I don't care what number anybody was picked in the draft. Period. We root for a team that has TJ McConnell on it. Okay. If you support a team that has TJ McConnell on it, who cares what the hell pick you were in the draft? Prove it. Once you are drafted, your draft pick doesn't matter. It doesn't say anything about your ceiling. Your play says something about your ceiling. How do we know? How did we all know coming into the year that Ben Mathurin had a much higher ceiling than what he had shown on average throughout his career? Because we had seen the high points. James Wiseman has the pick number, but where are the high points? I don't know. There are a lot of low ones, though.
So, yes, you can say the Pacers thought he was good enough that they signed him to their roster twice. They also decided he wasn't better than any of the 3 centers that they currently have.
But I do think he was a victim of circumstance this year, like with the point
guard
situation particularly.
That's fair. And I've talked to the Pacers people, and like they do believe in James Wiseman, but just to be honest, I don't get it based on what we've seen from him on the floor his entire career. He's never been a player in his entire healthy seasons where a team has scored more points on the floor with him on it, or where his team has allowed less points with him on the floor. Every year that he's played, the offense is worse when he's on the floor, and the defense is worse when he's on the floor. He's very young. He's very tall. He can do some things. Like, he's 99.9% like better than everybody in the world at basketball. But in terms of an NBA player, he's just not there.
All right. I've got two more. Do you want to hear me be an old man yelling at clouds, or let's go old man yelling at clouds.
Do it.
All right. NBA stadiums, all of them, every arena I've been to, are too loud. Okay, they are playing music all the time. It is very loud music. Like the real music, I should be clear, not the arena like background sounds, but like the real music that they play when like they're dribbling up the court or like whatever. I kind of like that. MSG, I live in New York. For those who don't know, MSG has an organ, an A+ stadium sound, the organ. Every like arenas should have organs. Everyone should be this way. It's amazing. They have a real organist playing the organ. But these fake electronic sounding loud, it like every time, but on a timeout, you just can't even, you can hardly talk to people around you. I go to games here in New York, especially at the Barclays Center. I mean, at halftime, if you want to like talk to the people you went to the game with, you need to leave and go to the concourse because they've got like some bad DJ set that's so loud you can't hear yourself think. OKC during the finals had those ridiculous snappers that were just, it was horrible to listen to. I'm not saying everything has to be like baseball where it's just like the crack of the bat, the snap of a beer can. It doesn't have to be, that quiet, but NBA arenas are too loud. And I don't know why it's like that.
So I gave you 3 here because I agree. Like,
I'm old man yelling at clouds here.
I am a bit of an old man too, and I actually would like it personally. I would like it if an NBA arena was more like a baseball game and it was just the basketball. But I've realized over time, especially taking my kids to games, that it's not, though all this like loud and noises and all this other stuff that's going on, is that it's for families, it's for kids, it's for people that aren't there just for the basketball. So I don't love it, but I understand its purpose. It's to entertain all of these people that are probably at the games that maybe aren't as in to just the basketball.
Boy, I mean, I don't have kids.
OKC drove me nuts with the clappers because they like brag about how loud they are.
It's just machine. It's fake. It's fake sound.
Yeah, like it doesn't feel like you deserve any credit when you just have these like loud clapper noises.
And you know what we miss with the in-arena sound? This is my last thing, and then I'll be done with my old man yelling at clouds. We miss 2 of the best sounds in sports. Okay, the best sound in sports is the crack of the baseball bat. I think this is just unimpeachable fact. Sorry, that's what it is. The best sound in sports is the crack of the baseball bat. The second and third best sounds in sports are the squeak of sneakers on the court and the sound of the swish when it goes through the net. A pure swish. Those are the 2 second and third best sounds in sports. And when you are listening, like when you're on TV, you can catch these sounds, but at the games, you can't get them. And every now and then I wish that, Kyle, who like, loves like the smaller gyms and like just, playing basketball, Kyle, that Kyle wishes we could hear the squeak of the sneakers and remind ourselves of like the core of the game.
I think we do get a good swish sound still because they put that mic in an area that catches most of the rim sounds. But I am an old man in the cloud in terms of I wish there wasn't music like during the game at all. Like the organ I'm okay with, but like all of the, like, why am I still hearing Sweet Escape with Akon and Gwen Stefani at Pacers games in 2025 while they're trying to run offense? I would just prefer to watch them run offense without a random pop song from, close to 20 years ago at this point.
See, those aren't for the kids, right? Those are for us. Sadly, they're for us. All right, give me another take if you've got. All right, I only have one more. We can wrap up after that.
Okay, I'll pick one more here. Which one do I want to go with?
You can go with more. Listen, you can rapid fire, and I can spice.
You already gave Tyrese Halliburton the nomination for the Tyrese John Halliburton Mr. Pacer Award tonight. But I'm going to say that he should have been in the MVP conversation last season. So where are you going to rate that one?
4. And it's because of the first half of the year. If the MVP award included the entire season, including the playoffs, you'd get one pepper. But it's a regular season award, so you get 4. Defend yourself.
So my case is, I think, overreact to whatever happens at the beginning of a season.
It was like 30 games. It's a lot of games. I
wouldn't say it was 30. I think for him, he started to turn around after about 15.
In like December. That's fair. Yeah.
So yeah, the Pacers didn't turn it around as a whole until they were 10 and 20 or 10 and 15, but he turned it around a little sooner than that. But just all of his stats by the end of the year were elite. I think we underestimate his impact on the court, and we're going to see it over and over and over again this year. And it would not be surprising to me at all if the Pacers start winning next year, and this year just is rough, even as the Pacers start getting players back, hopefully soon, that we start to actually see him in MVP talks as soon as next year. A little Steve Nash-esque.
I mean, if he was healthy this year, I would certainly agree. While you were talking, I pulled up dunks and threes EPM, which is I'm not personally a huge fan of all-in-one catch-all stats, but EPM is the one that I think is best of those. And
he's
EPM,
like top 5 in all of those.
He was 9th in EPM for the regular season, which is very good. 9th is like that 9th is like maybe he should have been in the conversation. Because the other guys around him, right, are like Tatum, Mitchell, Kawhi, Steph. Wemby didn't play enough games. Luka didn't play enough games. So actually, like among the game count, like minimum, he's almost top 5. So okay,
yeah, there was a. Like
I mean, listen, by the certainly from like in 2025 proper, he was an MVP, like 5th place on the ballot, 6th place on the ballot.
And that's all I mean. I don't think he should have like won it over SGA or over Jokic, but he should have been getting some votes is what I'm talking about. But like I think ESPN's wins above replacement, another one of those type of numbers, I believe had him 3rd all of last year, including that rough start.
That is impressive. That is impressive. All right, I've got one more, and this one's just for fun. I am a WNBA season ticket holder. And you know one thing the WNBA gets right, Derek? That white and orange ball is beautiful. That is a great basketball. And watching the spin of the white and orange coming off a person's hand, it's just clean. And you get the spin of the colors. It's easy to follow. The snap of the net.
I think I know where you're going with this.
That we should be using the WNBA basketball, Derek.
Oh, I thought you were going to go the ABA basketball.
Oh, the ABA basketball is so nice. Wow, I should have made this take even better. The ABA basketball is great.
So I agree with you, but I do think this is a little spicy still. I'm going to go
the ABA basketball. I'm looking at it. The ABA basketball is so nice.
It's perfect. The ABA basketball is perfect.
Just having multiple colors, it's so eye-catching.
It looks great when it's spinning through the air. Yeah, it'll never happen like the.
I know.
But I love
even old man yelling at clouds. This is the Kyle who likes the aesthetics, and I mean we
can't even get the NBA if it's a merger. Like, why do the Pacers ABA championships just not exist? In terms of
I guess this isn't exactly a hot take. Maybe I do have one more hot take. I think we should. I don't know if there are tennis fans around. Tennis has the open era and not the open era. Baseball has like the dead ball era. In other words, there are all these terms that other leagues use for like titles people won before it was as competitive as it really was, as it got, or before the rules changed. And the ABA merger was almost immediately followed by the 3-point line. I think we should be talking about the modern era of basketball as the 3-point era, meaning the introduction of the line. Basically, the game begins in 1980. And sorry to Not sorry to the Boston Celtics, but you can say total titles, but I'm going to talk about modern era titles, and it's the Lakers in the modern era.
Just respect the ABA. The ABA titles mean just as much as those NBA titles in
Right.
the early
And
70s.
to me, they both mean not that much.
I'm just, but if a Knicks fan is gonna like
yeah. To me,
brag
right.
about their titles in the same era as the Pacers winning ABA titles, when the Knicks' last 4 best seasons have all been ended by the Pacers, the only time they won those titles.
My contention is just that all those 70s titles are,
and that's fair.
Are we shouldn't be talking about them in the same way we talk, in the same breath that we talk about, like, again, the modern era of NBA basketball to me is the end of Kareem. It's Magic and Larry, and then Barkley, Hakeem, Michael, Isaiah. Right? That's the modern NBA, and that's how we should talk about titles. Anyway,
I think
we got 2
fair.
takes for the price of 1.
I just think if we're gonna recognize NBA titles and it's a merger, then let's merge the ABA titles. The Pacers should have a 3X on the back of their jerseys for those 3 ABA titles. If the Celtics get to count all of theirs, the Knicks get to count theirs, all of that stuff. So lots of little takes we got in there at the end here. All right, was that your last one?
That's my last one. I'm done for now. But I'm a man of takes, Derek. I bring the spice, not just to the deserts of Arrakis, where the drought has is threatening to end the soul of the Pacers season and drag us down before we could even get started. But I will bring the spice throughout the year.
I'm so grateful to everybody who stayed up with us once again to watch this live. If you have not yet, like and subscribe. I have the Tyrese Halliburton signed mini basketball here that we'll be giving away once we get to 1,000 subscribers. Really appreciate you guys joining us. Hopefully we get to talk about a win soon. Our next live broadcast will be the Miles Turner returns to Indianapolis game on Monday against the Milwaukee Bucks. Look forward to seeing you there. Thank you and adios.